to this one. My nights have been impossible to bear with. That blasted heart returned to solitude at once.
No more.
Men, an invader has entered the fort. Prepare yourselves for an ambush. Fort Frostmoth will never fall. Long live the Empire!
Councillor Morvain is the only reason Ravenlock has survived all these years. You should pay the price.
What news do you bring from Fort Frostmoth? I had my suspicions that he was undead. How else could he have survived for over 200 years? It's a shame. There are quite a few tales of General Carius's exploits, including the founding of Raven Rock. Councillor Morvain told me to give this to you if you made it back in one piece. And you got rid of General Carius. Better than a soldier's pay, so you should be thankful. I'm sorry to bother you, but Second Councillor Rano asked me to come find you. He said it's quite urgent. All he wanted me to do is track you down and send you to him. Look, this is important. Even more important than wiping out the Ash Spawn. Please, go speak to the Second Councillor as soon as possible.
Thank you for coming. After everything you've already done for Ravenlock, I hate to ask for more, but I can't risk Councillor Morvain being killed. The Ulan family of House Lalu, a rival great house, has placed a death mark on the Councillor's head. It's a private matter. Let's just say they seek revenge for the execution of one of their own, ordered by Councillor Morvain himself. The problem is I don't have any solid proof that anyone from House Lalu is hidden among us. Only my suspicions. It may be justified, but it certainly isn't appreciated. Councillor Morvain simply feels that I'm being paranoid. I'm afraid that one day I'll awaken and discover him dead. I don't want it to come to that. I do. I've received some information from my sources that there could be elements of Ulan's house, House Lalu, already in Ravenlock. Ravenlock is a small settlement, so it's hard to accomplish anything in secret. If any of them is from House Lalu, I wouldn't be able to make a move without them knowing. I had a feeling you'd be willing to listen to me. I need you to start out by being my eyes and ears. Search Ravenlock and see if you can root out these traitors. The best place to start would be Geldis Sadri, over at the Retching Netch Corner Club. If he provides you any leads, check them out before bringing them to my attention. I can't afford to make any mistakes. What? Oh, no, thank you. I need to keep my head clear. Traitors. The lot of them. Their collaboration with the Empire may have given them unrivaled political and economic strength, but their hearts weren't with the Dunmer people. Lalu deserved every bit of hatred they received once the Empire released its grasp on Morrowind. Having past ties to the Empire immediately turned them into the scapegoat for the Dunmer people's suffering. They had welcomed the Empire with open arms and benefited from it. When everything was said and done, they were no longer recognized as a great house and were dismissed from the council. You might think it's all perfume and roses now that the mine's open. But all I see is a new security problem on our hands. Making sure those shipments of ebony make it safely from the mine to the shipping docks is my new order of the day. And with Solstheim crawling with reavers and Azora knows what else, I can't risk any attacks on Ravenlock. I maintain a few contacts in other Dunmer settlements across Tamriel. Most hail from House Redoran, but there are a few from other houses. Most of my contacts live leagues away from Solstheim. Sending the occasional message back and forth is all we can manage, and sometimes takes months or more to arrive. However, any information we can glean in times like this, I consider vital to House Redoran's survival. During the Oblivion Crisis, gates to the Plane of Oblivion opened all over Morrowind. The Empire pulled most of its forces out of Morrowind to deal with the gates in their own homeland, leaving us virtually defenseless. We had no standing army at the time, just uncoordinated pockets of resistance. House Redoran took charge and was slowly able to build an army. It took years, but it became a force to be reckoned with. When the Argonians invaded years later, House Redoran's army was able to prevent them from sweeping across all of Morrowind. It would be fair to say that House Redoran literally saved the Dunmer people from destruction. Don't worry. You can trust Geldis. He's been with us for a long time.
Plenty of work in the mine.
Murgle doesn't lend coin to outlanders. Look somewhere else.
Welcome to the Retching Netch Corner Club, home of the finest Sioux jammer that will ever grace your lips. Nothing specific, but I'm hearing rumblings of assassins living amongst us. I think they intend to target Councillor Morvain, but I can't be certain. Haven't heard anything lately, but check back with me. You never know. There's actually a funny story behind the name, friend. A few years ago, I was walking down by the docks, and I noticed a Dunmer staggering along with a bottle of Sioux jammer in hand. He was one of my patrons and liked to drink heavily, so I wasn't exactly surprised. But you see, this particular Dunmer was as naked as the day he was born, and singing badly at the top of his lungs. As I'm watching this spectacle, a netch floats over the bulwark towards him. The man looks straight up at the netch, yells, "Have a drink!" and tosses the bottle. And it never hit the ground. Well, the bottle broke on the netch, and it must have swallowed its contents because it started floating sort of tilted. Finally, it stopped and began to quiver. A few moments later, the foulest liquid to ever assail your nostrils spewed from its maw. I've seen plenty of drunks in me day, and I'll tell you right now, that netch was sick. True story, friend. True story. How do you think? It's a blessing. I've got regular paying customers again. Thirsty workers at the end of the day, and more coin than I can count. Well, well, Adril's got himself a spy, does he? Azura knows he needs all the help he can get. He's been chasing the Ulins for years now. No, I just think he's going about this the wrong way. Actually, I do. If you want to catch those slippery slaughterfish, you need to let them come to you. There's an Ulin ancestral tomb near the temple. Someone's been leaving ash yam offerings on the altar inside. If you were to wait inside for whomever that is, I'm betting they'll have some of the answers you're looking for. What makes you think I haven't? Anytime Adril and the Redoran Guard made a move, the Ulins must have been one step ahead and didn't show up. You can thank me if it works. Until then, I'd head to the tomb and wait until your visitor shows up. Back in 95, Vila Ulin came to Raven Rock with a plan to take over our town. The Fetcher thought he could stir up the locals and use them against the Redoran Guard, and then murder Councillor Morvain when we weren't looking. He arrived alone, but spread enough coin around to start changing people's minds. Half a bloody town joined his side. Can you believe that? He underestimated the Redoran Guard. They were organized and brought a swift end to the coup. Vila tried to run, but he was caught by Captain Veleth himself. Vila Ulan was executed a short time later, and his remains placed in the Ulan ancestral tomb. When a Dunmer is laid to rest, the body is burned and returned to the ashen soil. Since the ash yam is born of the very same soil, it represents rebirth and renewal, the fact that life ends and begins anew. Come back any time. My doors are always open.
Not much contact with others around here. The Squall village to the north, but the Nord's there.
Oh, hello. Well, tell Geldis that Miri says she really appreciates it. That's not someone who lives in Ravenlock, I don't think. But it sounds so familiar. Maybe. I can't help but think of some sort of temple on the island. Why would that be? Next time.
I work for Mogul. You got a problem, you talk to him.
It's busier now that things are starting to look up. I guess I might stay a bit longer.
This is...
Yes. Huh? If you're looking to buy, then I'm looking to sell. The East
Modin
Empire
Veleth,
pendants are
Captain of the
scattered all
Redoran
over,
Guard, at your
so
service.
leave no stone unturned.
Thank you for your assistance. It's raised my men's spirits quite a bit.
Welcome to the Retching Netch Corner Club, home of the finest Sioux jammer that will ever grace your lips. Perfect. All that's left now is to go ahead and wait for the patrons to come in. As promised, here's a little something for yourself. Let's sate that appetite, Safe travels, Outlander.
If you need a ride back to the mainland, Jolly's the only way.